Good afternoon or morning, whatever time it is that you're watching this. We are here today with salontraining.com and Terri Cowan, and I'm going to learn how to pronounce this by the end of this for sure. I just wanted to let you guys know, if you are watching this on YouTube or during our live or on the replay, thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe to our new YouTube channel. And I wanted to go over, for those of you that maybe don't know what salontraining.com is, I'm just going to share my screen real quick and then we'll get into our interview today. All right, so salontraining.com is a website that is built for beauty industry professionals, no matter where you are at in your career. You can be just starting out, you can be an owner, manager, you can have a product company or whatever. But if you are looking for trainers, which we all know education is super important, you can go right here to our trainer category. You can open this up and you can say, I need someone to help me teach business in my salon, or accounting. Like right here, we have an accountant. We have people that do hair cutting and books and anything that you can imagine. You can type this in, hair color, whatever, and then you're going to find all their information about them. You can find their emails, their contact information, even phone numbers that they have that you can give them a message. So you can read about their bios. I don't want to spend too much time here, but I'm going to show you something else real quick. Because our topic today is about hiring, I definitely want to show you this job feature. I think every single person that I know is a business right now is looking to hire. And so this is something that we're going to do in January through March. We're going to give free job listings to anybody in the beauty industry that is hiring to help you hire someone in the new year. So we're really excited about that. If you are looking for a job, all you have to do is go to our job category. You can type in the area that you're looking for by zip code, state, whatever. Open it up, read everything about that salon so you can find out if that's where you want to put an application in. All right, I'm going to stop right there because we definitely need to jump into our main topic today, which is how to attract your dream team. So who do we have with us today? Terri, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm Terri Cowan. My husband and I own PSC, Professional Salon Concepts, in Illinois, and we are a distributor in the beauty industry and also speakers and consultants in the business. In the business category. I'm not a hairdresser, but I'm a wannabe. So I love talking about it. And it's really a privilege to be here and to talk about this topic, especially because everyone's talking about it. And it is the number one pebble in the shoe right now, right? We're walking around and we know we need staff, and we can't just have our fingers crossed. We have to really be proactive in how we're going to attack this issue, and how are we going to bring the right people into our business to complement what we're already doing.
Absolutely. You said you're not a hairdresser. So how did you get into the beauty industry? Let's start there. How did you get there?
Interesting. I cut my teeth in hospitality, and I was helping businesses that focused on the service experience. And when I left hospitality, I was recruited into the beauty industry by word of mouth and saying, if people can, service is service and product is product. It doesn't matter what your product is, as long as you understand the commitment of service and what you're trying to accomplish. I was recruited by John McCormick and Sam Bercato to help with Bercato International at the time. And that's kind of how I got in, realizing very quickly that hospitality, let's say a restaurant, the server is the hairdresser, the hostess is the receptionist, and the busboy is the cleansing technician. So the people parts were the same. It's just the product was different. And it aligned beautifully. What I learned at Pillsbury and working all those years in hospitality flowed beautifully over, and I was able to assist on this side and help people look at the service in the salon in a different way.
That's awesome. I think there's so many businesses that we talk about all the time that they are like us. A lot of them. No matter what it is, it's service. And if you are not a people person, take a class on being a people person if you are in the service industry, because that is the biggest portion of it. Exactly. When you bring up restaurants and different things, I have to tell you about a story real quick. One time I was in New York, actually at a hair show. We went out to eat and a group of us were there, and the waiter came down and he came down to our level. He kneeled down to the table and he said, "Hi, ma'am. What may I service you with tonight? What would you enjoy to eat?" And being that he stooped down, touched my shoulder, touched the table, he wasn't standing up here like this. I was like, wow, I was kind of blown away right away. And it was like just the whole atmosphere and the whole experience was nothing but they serviced every single one of their guests. And I tell about that story all the time because you can just do something simple and someone is going to say, wow, that's the best place ever. I don't even know what
Well,
I ate.
exactly. You don't
Yep.
remember that part. What was the impact that day? When I look at a service restaurant, like a high-end service restaurant, and they're focusing on the product, the presentation, how the china is going to be facing the guest, if there is a logo or something on it or an emblem. And most high-end restaurants are thinking about their food. The ones that really get it are thinking about the guests just as much as they're thinking about the food presentation. And I think about that in salons. Sometimes we're thinking about the hair, the color, the cut, whatever we're trying to do for that guest. But are we thinking about how do we enhance and romance the service part of our business equal to what we're trying to accomplish with our grooming and color techniques?
Absolutely. And your husband does this as well, too, right?
My husband started the company in 1983. And when we married, I joined him full time and in 91. And I started in the beauty industry in 88. But it was amazing how much of a servant's heart Steve has always had. So he starts at the guest and works backwards to the company. Most businesses start at the company and work out to the guest. And so that premise, it aligned beautifully with my background. And I think that that's how we first became attracted to each other. It's how we thought in business.
I think the first time I saw was sitting in a classroom where you guys were both at. I almost thought you guys were comedians at first, to be honest, because the way that you guys were talking, I was like, this is so cute. Like they're married and they're doing this. And it was then you just got down to business, man. You guys were serious about the business class. Can't remember which one it was, but I'm so happy that you're going to be at the Pennsylvania Beauty Pros Expo teaching business owners so many important things about business. So I guess, yeah, we can get right into our topic today.
Great.
How to attract your dream team, because that is the number one thing that you just said. We need to hire these people, and where are they, and how do they get into our culture and all that kind of stuff. So can you tell us what are the tips to attract the right
Well,
people?
there's a couple of things. When you look at, let's just say someone is in a family and they're bringing the girl home for the first time to meet the family. What is that family looking for? They want to see if people connect well, if she can fit in with us. That's what you say. She really fits in. It was really comfortable. That's what we're looking for in our businesses. We're looking for someone that's going to complement who we are, how we do it, when we do it, and enjoy what we are as a team. Everyone uses the word culture, but really, how do you define your culture in your business? You can't just say we're really nice here. I mean, that's not enough. This is how we behave. This is how we honor each other. This is how we honor people in the community. But, I was with a salon just recently and they said, we need to hire 4 people. I said, great. All right. What's your plan? And these 3 owners together looked at each other and said, I don't know. We just do what we do. I said, well, that's not specific enough if you're trying to recruit someone. What are 5 things that they can expect from your business should you bring them on and join you? Steve and I like to study college coaches. If you think about college coach mentality, they are always constantly recruiting and scouting. That's the word, scouting for their business. And when you want to attract your dream team, you have to scout and look for that kind of, whether it's personality, talent, presence, confidence. What are you looking for? And if you don't write it down and create an ideal profile, kind of what you're looking for, it could be right in front of you and you miss it. So when you look at recruiting for your business and scouting, college coaches, what I love about them is when they recruit, there's no guarantee they're going to have this player for 4 years. They could go in the draft. They could have an injury. They could not enjoy your coaching and want to transfer to another school. There's a lot of variables, but we do know this, they are going to graduate. So you can't get stuck and say, okay, I've got the perfect team right now and I can rest on my scouting habits and disciplines. No, they must always be doing it. And when they are scouting a person, what do they do to scout them? They go to their homes, they go to their schools, they meet the family. We're really trying to create a connection with them. If I want them to go to my university, why is my university the best choice? It's exactly the mentality you need to have. If I want to recruit you, what can they expect from my business if you come in? You know, there's salons that say we'll help you, but there's a great expression called becoming a training salon, knowing, like a training hospital or a teaching hospital. You become a teaching salon. And when I say the word teaching, it's not just we're going to give you undivided attention Tuesday mornings, every Tuesday from 9 to 11, and then you'll be an assistant all the other days. Especially now, people want to know that when they're putting time in, they're getting a return on that energy and time. And if they're folding towels all day or sweeping hair, they're going to feel like they're stuck. So we have to make our training and development program one that they leave saying, boy, that pushed my mind today, right? You know, sweeping hair and just doing towels. Yes, we're teaching them the footprints of success, but you're not teaching them how to be successful in your environment. So you have to say, what can they expect? You know, when you look at athletes that go to college, they're in practice every day. Yeah. They have games on Saturday, but they're in practice every day. Make sure that the number one thing that they get out of joining your team is they know you're sharpening their saw, right? That you're helping them, whether they're going to start doing tours every day or they're going to start helping you with consultations. They're going to start talking. They're going to introduce themselves to everyone. You have to teach them presence and confidence. Don't let them blend into the woodwork during their training time. And so what are the 5 things they can expect from you? Let's just talk about some of them. We have a team environment. We're going to have your back, both personally and professionally. We are going to risk an uncomfortable moment to bring out the greatness in you. You have to create your own verbiage, right? But we are going to lead and develop. If I think about the best teachers I had growing up, those are the ones that took a special interest. We're going to take a special interest in you. And is it going to be hard? Yeah. But on the other side, right? On the other side, you're going to feel our commitment to you. Now, here's another thing I would say. What you can expect from us, we will talk to you and never behind your back. What we're saying and thinking about your progress and development, we're going to say to you. Honesty is of the utmost importance. You know, sometimes you have people say, who's the new girl? We don't know yet, jury's out. That's not how you embrace a new person and helping them fit in your organization. And excuse me, when I say to someone, you are going to do all the greeting today, those are all confidence deposits. And you tell them that. We're not having you greet because we don't have enough staff. We're having you greet so it becomes absolutely natural to you. Natural. We're going to have you do a tour so it becomes natural to you to talk about here. We're going to have you work with every single day. You're going to be assigned someone so you learn their disciplines and habits. It's just, you can expedite someone's training and development, but you can't if you're only using them as labor.
True. I love that. I love the fact that you said confidence deposits.
Oh,
that's brilliant.
You know, I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit. You know, I'm always amazed at people that have to, their children have to sell raffles, or their children have to sell tickets to an event to support their softball team or whatever. And parents just write a check. I don't get it. Don't write a check. You're robbing them of confidence deposits. If I had to sell Girl Scout cookies, let's say, or do a bake sale, and I did 5,000 of them, I swear, in my lifetime when I was growing up, but all that helped me to create the ability to have eye contact, talk to people, show up, be present. And, when we're competing against a phone right now, we're robbing people of being able to look up, right? There's this new thing about the evolution of man. I just said this to my husband. It'll show caveman and then, growing up, and, the caveman's hunched over looking for food, and then growing up into the established man. Now they're saying he's hunched over again because he's looking at his phone. He's not standing up and poised, and we're going to be fighting that for a while. So in our businesses, we're not saying you can't be on a phone, but the phone isn't the boss, the customer is.
That's great. All right. And so
now I'm sorry,
no,
when you're going into schools and stuff, you can't call a school and say, hey, do you have anyone that's graduating? I really need someone. That's not going to, no one's going to send you people that way. They want to see you take an interest in their student body. And so most schools, we have two Paul Mitchell schools, and we have what's called Guest Artist Day. And what we do is we encourage our owners, get in here and share your message. Yes, you can do some hair, but share your message. And maybe you have gold tickets that you have made up for people that stood out today, and hand them a gold ticket and say, we'd like to see you in our salon. We're going to be doing an open house this day, and we'd really like to be on your list and be considered. And we would like to know if you'd like to come in and meet our staff and hang out and see if it'd be a good fit. But you stood out today. I wouldn't give everyone a gold ticket. I'd give the people that caught your eye. And, they always call it the eye test, or who had that it factor for you. Everyone's it. My it factor is going to be different than yours and everyone else's. But who measured up today? And then you get known for the people that say, oh, they're coming in. They always have the gold tickets. And what can I get for a gold ticket? If I show up, maybe I get something from the salon, or maybe I get to experience something, or we feature you as one of our guests, on our special guest tonight, and it's going to walk the floor and just introduce you to our kind of customers. So when you walk in and you feel this presence as an potential employee, you go, wow, that felt great. I felt welcome. I love their music. I love the way they dress. I love the way the salon looks. There was something very contagious about it. How are you going to accomplish that by a phone call? You're not. Absolutely. That's why you have to get them to you.
How many interviews do you suggest people give someone when they're interviewing someone?
It depends, So, I think that the first interview is not talking about money. It's just saying, how are you? Tell me a little bit about you. How did you make your decision to go to beauty school? Are you someone that balances a lot of things? I always ask someone, what were you involved in high school, your extracurricular activities, and how did you make the decision? Did you work during school? How did you make the decision? I always ask, where did you go to beauty school? How did you make that decision? I want to know their decision making, right? So the first time is just all about how they think. The second time is my time to talk about us. And maybe even a third time is to put them in front of your staff. I interview until I'm certain. So sometimes it's one or two, and sometimes it could be more. I had a boss one time that did, I think, 3 interviews with me, and the last one was 5 hours. And I thought, finally, I said, what do you need to know about me? I really want this job. He said, that's what I was waiting to hear. Wow. Yep. That's what I was waiting for you to ask for the job, and that you wanted it. I said, well, gosh, if I had known that, I would have done that in the first 5 minutes.
Wonderful. So what else do you teach? Like, can we talk about your program just for a moment too? Like, what does your courses look like? You help salons.
Yes.
You have schools, you have a whole bunch of different things. So
we're a distributor. So we represent the states of Illinois and Indiana, but we're also international speakers. And what we really focus on is helping the owners make better decisions in their business. Sometimes we start off for the convenience of our staff versus the convenience of our guest. Remember earlier when I said Steve starts at the customer and works back towards us. And so we teach them, how does your schedule look? How does your career path look? Do you have compensation for profit? Are you looking at guest traffic? Are we analyzing? Every salon has enough customers to be successful. Are we managing that customer base? Are we putting too many guests in a chair and then the guests can't get in? I'll give you an example. I am a color customer every 3 weeks and a haircut every 6. So a salon, if they want me as their customer, they have to have availability for me to be in there 18 times a year. Okay. So when you look at the profile of a hairdresser, how many guests does it really take to be completely scheduled? Probably less than 200. And sometimes we're trying to squeeze 400 guests into spots that are meant for 200. So what is the word at the front desk? Not available, not available, not available. Do you want to be on the wait list? When you hear that in your business, it's usually too many guests are allocated to a service provider. And that's the owner's job to make sure they're managing the traffic so the customer can be a loyal guest to the salon and be available. Now, I'm not saying when you want me once a year and I've got to leave a spot open for someone that's here 18 times. No, I'm saying for my customer base and their activity, this is all the guests it needs. And so we teach that too. We also teach leadership. Most owners are so afraid to lead and because they don't want anyone to leave. Well, what's worse, having a bad employee that runs you versus you managing your business, or being able to have the confidence to know that I'm leading to help you become what you want to be in my business. So many salons are open too many hours to have a presence of energy. When you're open on Monday and you only have one employee there, that looks ridiculous. I don't care who you are. And you want to create this popping energy, right? When customers drive by, they want to see the business they go to is absolutely hopping. So how do you do that? And you do that by the right schedule. If you ask owners, what's the best day to be in the salon? Oh, we love Saturdays because we're all here and it's just, then create that every day. Why aren't you creating that every day? Why are you doing that just on Saturdays? So we talk about a lot of things to romance the business and create that kind of energy. There's 5 areas that we focus on, probably what I'll be talking about in Pennsylvania, but what are the enhancements you're doing this year in services, systems, in your people, in your facility, in the noise print that you're making? What are those enhancements that you're doing? And you should have a plan and a timeline to accomplish that. If we are open too many hours, when do we get to work on the business versus in it? And working on the business is leadership's responsibility. Our staff, they leave us because they don't think they're in good hands with us anymore, that we can't take them any further. Shame on us.
I personally made that mistake very early on in my industry, in my career, owning my salon. I was always behind the chair, behind the chair, behind the chair, which led no time for anything else, to promote my team, to have meetings, to have coaching seminars, to have fun, to do anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when we're open too many hours, when someone says, can we do a meeting Wednesday? Oh no, she works Wednesday. No, well, she can't because she's here Tuesday. Well, she can't. So when you have a schedule that allows us to do one-on-ones, and they're scheduled for the year, it allows us to do staff meetings once a week. We can break bread with our staff. It allows us to do training and development, in-salon education, off-site education. But if our schedule is too packed, we can't accomplish that.
Yes, absolutely. We started closing years ago. We started closing on Tuesdays. That was our slowest day, no matter what we tried. Tuesdays were always our slowest. Everything else was pretty good. So we said, why are we struggling to be open on Tuesday and filling in these little spots? Why don't we make that? Because if not, we were staying after work on Saturdays when we were all exhausted to have meetings.
Exactly.
It didn't make sense. We're like, okay. And we all loved it. We opened, sometimes we even, once we started getting busier, then we opened back up again on Wednesdays in the evening. But during the day, we just closed and we had so much fun. We had all of our education events then, our leadership things. It was good.
I'm trying not to give you too much information here, but I really think a salon when you've got people that don't want to work more than 32 hours, right? That's what we're hearing. We want flexibility. We want to work 32 hours. Well, this is still my business, and I still have to look good when it's open. And I encourage salons. What I would do, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, maybe be open 12 to 8, Fridays and Saturdays, 8 to 4. That's it. That's a 40-hour work week. And we're all going to work the same schedule. And they say, well, they don't want to work evenings. Well, evenings is prime time, right? It's like a restaurant saying we don't want to be open for dinner. Okay, well, come on. They're not going to eat their dinner at 9 a.m.
Right.
So we create it. And if we've got this business that's creating $100,000 incomes, which we do, right? It has to be not at the staff's convenience. It's got to be what we want to say to the community. And they'll find a way. Do they want to? Maybe not, but they'll find a way to do this. So maybe I have to work 2 nights of the Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And I have to work 2 of the nights, and then I have off. So really 8 o'clock is not late, right? It feels later right now at this time of year, but that's when the customers want to be in our business. Why would we exclude being the top gun salon just because our hours are wrong?
Right. So I love it. So you said things to attract your people. Definitely scout them out. Find out who you're looking for in the first place, instead of just, okay, we need to fill that chair, I'm going to hire someone because they're fun.
Exactly.
You're going to find out all of the different topics of what you are looking for first, because you
Exactly.
are the business owner, and then working towards finding out the hours that your customers in that particular that they need, and not necessarily, and then that will go back to, well, I need to hire someone that is willing to work these hours.
Exactly.
And then treating that employee, that team member, very well, and letting them know that they can advance, correct?
Exactly. That career path is huge. And when someone says, are you hiring? We have hours available. We have hours available. Yes, this is what we're looking for. If someone says, I only want to go to Ohio State and play safety, well, they don't need a safety. Okay, so are you dismissing yourself from Ohio State? Kind of. Or you could say, if you think my talent can go elsewhere, coach me, develop me, groom me, right? You have to have leadership ability and confidence to attract people, because they have to know they're in good hands with you.
Right.
What does that look like? And sloppy systems or casual systems, or that's not leadership.
Mm-hmm.
What is your playbook? What does it look like?
I know I said I love a couple different things. I write so many notes when I'm talking to people too. The playbook, that is really, really great. So I think that you went back to that quite a few times, of teams in coaching and football and whatever. I mean,
Exactly.
that's true. It all makes sense. That's what we're looking for in our businesses. So
Exactly.
who do you want to be playing on your team? There you go.
Right. And how often have we kept someone that's not a good fit?
Absolutely. I know I did it before, and then
Well,
it wasn't fun.
And the older I get, the less I can tolerate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess when you're younger, maybe you tolerate it longer, but no, I can't any longer.
I can't either. Doesn't get you anywhere.
No, it goes back to that pebble in the shoe. When you're walking and you've got something in your shoe and you go, God, what am I stepping on? It's the same thing. You walk in your business. I don't want to get used to that pebble in the shoe. I want to feel it, because it's at the expense of what we're trying to accomplish.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for today. And if
I can't wait. I can't wait to be there in is it March?
April 24th and April 25th. It's the biggest Western Pennsylvania show in decades. Is coming back to Seven Springs Mountain Resort. So
can't wait to be there and join your other team and all the other speakers, because I'll learn that day too. And can't wait. Thank you for including me.
Oh, thank you so much. You guys are You and your family have a great day, and we will talk to you next time, Terri.
Happy holidays to you.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.